Hi everyone. If you're new here, I'm Missy and I write the blog Rambling Rose Farmhouse, and I'm really happy to have you join me here today. So today I wanted to show you some of my farmhouse decorating things that I have purchased from garage sales and thrift stores. And most of these things you probably would think you would have to go to an antique store to find them, but surprisingly you don't. You can find them at garage sales, which that's what we call them here. I think at some place in some parts of the country they call them yard sales or tag sales, whatever whatever they're called where you live. But you can find them at garage sales and you can find them at thrift stores for much cheaper prices. And so what I want to share with you today is what I look for at those type of places for authentic farmhouse decor for my home. So the first thing I want to say is if you're not shopping at thrift stores, you are really missing out. And that was me for a really long time. I had a few friends that shopped at thrift stores and they kind of told me, I should, but they never really, I guess, convinced me that I should. They never really told me, what kind of good deals you can get there. And so for a long time, I didn't even go and check them out. I just thought, no, I wasn't interested. But when I did, I figured out that I had been missing out because you really can get some really good things and you can get some really good prices there. But at the same time, all thrift stores are not created equal. So if you've gone to one before and had a bad experience, don't give up. Go try another one. You might even have to go to several before you find the one that you like. But just do that. Just kind of be patient with it. Try some different stores, and you will probably find a few that are like your favorite store to go shopping. When you think, oh, I want to look for this, you automatically think of that thrift store and you go in there, and a lot of times you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Sometimes you don't, but it's always worth a try. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you the things and kind of tell you a little bit about how I use them and why I consider them to be authentic farmhouse decor. So the first thing on my list is original art, and I just have one sample thing to show you here, and that is this painting. Now, I got this at a garage sale actually a couple of years ago, and it actually has a frame, but I took the frame off of it to paint it, and it hasn't ever gotten put back on here. But this is an oil painting. I have found oil paintings and watercolor paintings at garage sales, probably more than at thrift stores, but I have found them at both. But I like to have original art. I like to have, art pieces that were painted by somebody. I like the fact that these were, hand done by somebody. And this style right here, I consider this to be farmhouse style. I mean, it's got a nice bucket and an old milk can, which those are things that I would actually use in my decor too. So, if you like original art, these are a good place to look for things. And the second thing that I'm always looking for is ironstone. And a lot of times you can pick up like a platters and plates are what I see the most of. And sometimes bowls. But, I see a lot of platters and plates, and they are just, like I said, very inexpensive, and they're usable. I mean, most of them. This is certainly a usable platter. But I also just look for white dishes in general. And if you look in my kitchen cabinets, you see that I have a lot of white dishes. Not any of those dishes were bought new. They were all bought secondhand at thrift stores and garage sales. And we use them every day, at least some of them every day. We don't use all of them every day, but they're all usable, and we do use them all. And so I'm going to show you my favorite find for dishes. This is a false graph plate. I found a whole set of this. It was the plates, the bowls, cups and saucers at the thrift store. I think one piece, it was a place setting for 8, and one piece was missing. I don't remember which one it was, but one of the things didn't have all 8. And I guess, the person got rid of them because it didn't have all 8 pieces. But honestly, like, this is my favorite set of dishes that I've ever had. We use these dishes every day, and I love them. They're nice and heavy, and neutral. I really like to have white dishes because you can mix and match them, even if they're not the exact same white. They all just go together really well, and they just make setting a table easy, and I like the way they look just in the cabinet as decor too. So a few of the other types of dishes that I see a lot, I kind of have a little collection of this particular pattern. I have no idea what it is because it has no marking on it, but I know that these are really old dishes, and I find these all the time at thrift stores. So, and they're really pretty. They're just like a little bit more, dainty than like this heavy plate here. But you can see how you could set the table with these, all together. And then I have found buffalo china too. So these are some buffalo china plates. I think I found 5 of these at the thrift store. And then these tiny little bowls are buffalo china. Both of these are. And I love these little bowls. They work so good when you're making some kind of recipe or something and you need to separate your ingredients out. That's what I use these little bowls for. I think I found a set of 6 of these at the thrift store. So white dishes and ironstone are things that I look for every time. Now these right here, these of course are not, these are china. I don't know if it says ironstone, it might. It's a little bit hard to read. But I mean, as you can tell, they're extremely old. I'm saying they, I'm only holding up one of them. There were 2. I found these this past weekend at a garage sale. And they're really old, they're crazed, they're cracked. But when I was looking at them, I thought, those would be really pretty in the fall with maybe pine cones in them, or maybe like apples or pears, just some of the things that kind of, are fall, natural fall decorating. And I just thought these would be really pretty and just pretty on the table or whatever. And so I got them. And like I said, they were at a garage sale and they were really cheap and they're really old. And I love the patina of them. I just love them. Things like this always make me wonder, where they've been and how old they are and just all those kind of things. So these are going along with my, ironstone and white dishes. So something else that I really love to decorate with for the farmhouse style are wood items. And there are several different types of wood items that I like to look for. And so I'm just going to share a few of those with you. One of them is cutting boards. And I want to show you this pretty amazing cutting board that I got from the thrift store. Look how thick this thing is. It's huge. I've actually not ever seen one quite this thick before anywhere. Now the thing about this one, it was really cheap. The thing about it was it had like an oil painting on part of it, on one side of it. And I almost didn't buy it, but I thought, I think I can sand that off. And so I did, I bought it. And sure enough, it was really easy to use an electric sander and just get all of that off. Just kind of took a whole layer off of it. And now I have this like amazing, thick cutting board, which whether I use it as a cutting board or not, this would be great for display, any kind of items, anything you need to give some lift to. Being as thick as it is, it's going to look really nice to use as a riser to display other things on. So I love this, but I do, this was a really unique one. I like to find cutting boards that are really old or kind of unique, just different things. I usually like a darker wood than this, but I couldn't pass this one up. And this is probably not really a cutting board, but this is another one of these. It's really long, and this would be so nice to use in a table setting or someplace else to gather some items up, just to make a statement piece. So wood things like this, I love white and wood. And so I just feel like the wood just adds so much warmth and really a farmhouse style. So I really like this item for that same type of thing. So this thing's pretty big. And another type of wood items that I look for are wood spoons. Now these all came from the same garage sale, and the lady who they belonged to was a pastor's wife. And so, when I look at these spoons, they just, I can see the love that she felt for people when she probably was cooking a lot of meals for church family that either had, sickness or maybe a new baby, just whatever. And then probably too, she just probably used these to cook a lot of dinner on the grounds meals. So I don't use these spoons. They're all very well, well used and well loved. But I just love them for a display just there in my kitchen. These awesome spoons. I do have wood spoons that I use, but this particular group of them, I just display. And they just seem like exactly what you would have seen in a farmhouse kitchen, 100 years ago. Well used wooden utensils. So I feel like those really lend that farmhouse charm. And let's see, some other wood items are rolling pins. I really like rolling pins. I like to collect different types, and they are the same thing. They are just something that you would have seen in a farmhouse kitchen, something that would have been used on a regular basis. And I love that they are all different shapes and sizes and different colors of wood. So again, I like the warmth and the texture that they add to my decor, and I feel like they are absolutely farmhouse style decor. Now, another thing that I find at garage sales a lot, and sometimes at thrift stores, are just old wood boxes, small wood boxes, and these are two of them. I have a lot more than this, but they're, again, it's the wood. It's the warmth of the wood. It's the texture of the wood. It just says farmhouse style to me. But also, they're useful because you can store things in them, little things in these. I opened one of these up. I think it was this one a minute ago, and I found some of my pens that I had stored in here. I didn't even know I had them, so remember what you put in your boxes. But anyway, these boxes also, they just look nice stacked, on a shelf. They're also great if you are making a display and you want to have something to, lift items up. The wood boxes are great for that. They make really nice photography props too. There's just so much you can do with them. But if you have them, like I said, stacked on a shelf, you can put things in them and store things in them too. So that makes them useful. And something else that I also look for are, I'm going to stop real quick and say you might be able to hear the thunder. I've been trying to record in between the bands of rain that are coming through because we have a hurricane headed right toward us right now. So I'm trying to get this video finished before the hurricane gets here, but I'm having to deal with rain and thunder. So if you can hear that, just, bear with me, and I'm going to try to keep going. But I was going to tell you, I also look for large wood boxes, and you can find them a lot of times. You can find them at garage sales. They work wonderful to store things in. So I have two big boxes in my house, and one of them I use to store toys for when little kids come over. I have a lot of little kid toys in one of my big wood boxes, and then the other one actually has my sewing machines in it because I did have them stored underneath my bed. I didn't have a better place to put them. They were really hard to get out from underneath there. And when I saw this box, I thought, I think my sewing machines will fit in there. It's pretty big, and they did, and it's so much easier to get them in and out of there when I want to use them. So big wood boxes also have the farmhouse style, but they're very useful if you have items that you need to store. You know, they would be good for blankets, extra blankets, and things like that. Just all kinds of things. Another thing is old books. And you can usually find, you know, old hardbook back books like this for $1 or less at either thrift stores or garage sales. And again, these are really nice to use in displays on shelves. Again, like if you want to, you know, sit an item on there, or you can just have them on the shelves this way, have them on the shelf this way. But they just have a farmhouse appeal to me. It's nice. These are kind of neutral colored, but a lot of times you can find like green ones that are real pretty for fall and Christmas time. Red books are really pretty at Christmas time. So if you find any of the different colors that will look really good for your holiday decor, grab those because you probably will find a place to use them. So all the books are on my list. Another item that I look for, and it's actually pretty easy to find, is enamelware. And these are something that will add some color. Like I said, I like a neutral background. I like a lot of white and wood, but I do like to add pops of color, and enamelware is one way to do that. And so both of these are thrift store finds. And you know, they're useful. This can be used. So that's just another thing to look for. And baskets. Baskets for me, again, are like the wood boxes. I like to find baskets that I can use to store things in. Now, this one sits on my counter. It's a little basket, but I keep my garlic in this. And so this sits out on my counter all the time with garlic, real handy. And this came from a thrift store. And then this other basket, here were some more wood utensils from the thrift store too that I didn't show you when I showed you the wood spoons. This basket, also a thrift store find. This is a nice big basket, and it is so useful to contain items in that kind of need to stay together, and they get, you know, all spread out, especially in the kitchen. I have found a lot of useful, you know, purpose for this basket, and it holds different things at different times, just whatever I have a need for. And so what I like to do with my baskets, I'll try to, this is another one. It's a nice old handmade basket, but it's perfect for storage. So I try just to display them someplace if I'm not using them. But anytime that, you know, I come up with something like my garlic that I need to store someplace, I'll look and see if I have a basket that it would fit in. And if I do, then that is what I use to store things and to keep items contained that need to be together. So I like to have baskets that I can use for storage. And this, you know, basket will look nice, like sitting up, even on top of a piece of furniture, and it might have some linens in it, or I don't know, whatever, you know, I might have that I need to store. Even decor items like candlesticks that I'm not using, or candles, or something like that, can easily be tucked in a basket like this, set on a shelf, and nobody will ever know that you're storing things in there that you're not using right now. So to me, that's something that I'm always looking for. And also, they just add so much texture to your, you know, decor. So I feel like baskets are definitely something that would have been in a farmhouse 100 years ago and would have been used by, you know, the lady of the house. Now, I think that I've talked, oh, pottery. Handmade pottery was another one of my things. This is a signed little picture that was made in 1981. So, it's not super old, but I really like items like this. And again, I feel like these are the kind of items that would have been in an old farmhouse. And they're pretty, they're useful, and they're kind of like the original art to me, because this is a piece of art and somebody made it and they put their name on it, and that is that's the kind of things I like. You a lot of times will find the baskets that are signed by the maker on the bottom too, and I just think that's special. So that's something that I look for. So the other thing that I look for, I'm looking around to see if I forgot anything. I don't think I did. Is vintage linens. I love them. I just love the beautiful linens. I am amazed by the amount of work that the ladies put into things like this. I think about their life. They didn't have all of the conveniences we have, like the washing machines and the dryers and the electric mixers and the dishwashers and all those things. But yet they found time to make things like this for their homes. And, I don't know about you, but I do have modern conveniences. And I find it really difficult to find time to make things like this. So I just enjoy finding the old vintage ones, and I buy those. I buy them, every time I see them. And so this is just really pretty handwork that's done on a linen, fabric. But I look for all kind of vintage linens. This is a table runner. I look for napkins and doilies and all of those things, thunder again. And I use those in my decor. So they are something that I use. I'm going to show you two. Actually, I got this past weekend at the same garage sale that I got these from. And I got these other two. They're really big, so I'm just going to try to show them to you. But one of them is a tablecloth, and it's huge, so I'm not going to open the whole thing up. It's a very tedious and detailed, work, and it's really, really beautiful. And I just can't even imagine how many hours went into this whole big thing. And, it ended up at a garage sale. So, I don't know. I guess I kind of can get sentimental about things like this. And I just think that's really sad. I think it's kind of sad that, it didn't get passed down to a family member, because this is an heirloom. This is the type of heirloom thing here. But anyway, so this was one of my weekend garage sale finds. And so the other one is this crocheted bedspread. I'm not sure how well you can get there, but it looks to me like it would fit a twin size bed. And again, there's no telling how many hours went into creating this, and it's very beautiful. So vintage linens are definitely one of the things that I always look for. And they are really super easy to find at garage sales. I guess people they're not using them. Maybe they have them stored, and so they're just like, let me get rid of this. So they're real easy to find at garage sales, and they're pretty easy to find at thrift stores too, if you like that sort of thing, which I do. It is one of the things that I feel like lends a certain farmhouse charm to my decor. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed seeing the things that I shop for at thrift stores to bring authentic farmhouse decor into my home. I hope it kind of encouraged you that maybe you'll go out and do some thrift store shopping and garage sale shopping. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you back again next week for my next video.